Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. First of all, go ahead and check out the brand new series over on Anime King 3. I'll be leaving a link down in the description for what if Naruto was betrayed by Hagoromo guys. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. But for now, I'm going to be giving you part 19 of what if Naruto was trained by the greats at a young age. Go ahead and get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and thank you for all of your help and support. Remember, comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto was Hokage for the day, Tsunade wanted to go and, well, drink and have a fun time. So she made Naruto be Hokage for the day and she's only to help him out. As Naruto had a lot of papers to sign, but he signed them all and he even spoke to the daimyo's wife. Things was going well as he saw it. While that was going on, Karen had finally created a way to provide the curse mark without Orochimaru DNA being a sample of it, as she went to a man that was in charge of a rather large island as he sent it out to all of the Hokages. Yes, as Jiraiya got the information intercepted as he brought it back, Tsunade had a mission for Naruto and her team. As they were sent there to the island, the Akatsuki was also sent there, Deidara and Sorcerer to destroy the remains of Orochimaru. After all, they wanted to kill him anyway. So they got there. Karen knew that a lot of high-level ninjas were here, so she wanted to leave, as the man offered her 5 million. As that was a great downfall in what she should really get, but still, she decided to just take it and leave. As Naruto came upon the Akatsuki there, he couldn't attack or do anything on the island as neither of them could fight there. As the boss man was surrounded, the auction then began, as Kakashi was told by Deidara that he should leave. They were going to come after Naruto, so they didn't want him to end up dead just yet. As Naruto and them already planned for it as they created clones. As Deidara went crazy and started to bomb the entire place. As him and Sorcerer watched from ahead, as Naruto had got the 3 chests with all the money from different villages and brought them back, instead of just his own. As Naruto went through Hansa and summoned the Kraken that he learned from his grand uncle Saisho, as the thing was furious and thing ripped through the water, decimating the ships. It was wild. It even wanted to kill everything around, even his own summoner. This thing was just a beast that was made to destroy everything. As Naruto and the others left, as they had exited the boat as they ended up stopping at a hotel, as Naruto was notified by the main desk that the envoy was here to see him from the Hokage. Making his way down there, Naruto was too late, as his eyes locked with red Sharingan eyes. So yeah guys, that was basically the last spot left off. You guys can switch across the page and check for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Naruto has faced the Sharingan many times before, while sparring with Kakashi. He faced Itachi once before, and defeated him, forcing Itachi to run, but with help. He had even faced the power of the Mangekyo Sharingan, with his final battle with Sasuke. All of this had led Naruto to believe that the Sharingan and the Mangekyo Sharingan, while powerful, was not deserving of their fiercest reputation. Unfortunately, he was about to discover something he should have already known. As a 5th level blade master, Naruto could do things with his katana that novices can never do. That same thing also exists with the vast users and the matured users of the Mangekyo. As he started to understand this, as his body was pulled into a dark, nightmarish realm, and he could do nothing to stop it. One moment he was on the roof of a building ready to fight. The next moment he wasn't wearing any clothes, and he was in a cage. In the Tsukuyomi mindscape I control, time, space, and all substance. Within this realm, I am a god. Itachi's calm voice seemed to spread from everywhere. Naruto grabbed the bars, he tried to break them but he could not, and he could not feel his chakra at all. There was something about being in a cage that just made him panic. as he slammed his shoulders against the cage, but no effect. Let me out of here! You killed my foolish little brother. Itachi's calm voice said. It seems only seems I do the same thing with a member of your family. Suddenly, a woman dropped to the ground as she looked at Naruto. Naruto's eyes went wide. Naruto-kun, I'm so proud of you, my son. Mom, he shouted. He knew that this wasn't real. He told himself again and again that it was nothing but a genjutsu. But the sight of his mother seemed so real, just as the iron bars as he was gripping. As Itachi appeared behind the red sword, raised above her head. No, Mom, run! Itachi, don't you dare touch her! I'll kill you! As he smashed his body against the cage again. Itachi brought the blade down and sliced Kushina's neck off, as Naruto could only watch, as blood gushed from her neck, as her body tumbled over. Tears exploded from Naruto's eyes as he screamed out, Mom! I will spend the next 72 hours torturing you. We have 71 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds still remaining. Naruto-kun, I'm so proud of you, my son. His mother was there again, as Itachi sliced off her head. This is a damn lie. This is an illusion. It's not real, said Naruto as he shook violently. Though his eyes were closed, he heard metal cutting into flesh and bone. Naruto-kun, I love you. Stop it. Please. Don't do it. Stop it, said Naruto. As his eyes snap open, he sees mother's head get sliced off once again. Naruto-kun, I love you. I'm so proud of you, my boy. As her head was sliced off again. Such a thing was difficult to see more than once. But when something like that happened to you, again and again and again. In the normal world, time barely passed, as Itachi walked over to Naruto, who was just unmoving. As he placed Naruto on the roof, as he checked his pulse, he was still alive. Naruto's mind was completely shattered, even though his vital signs were strong. Itachi removed the mask and robes that he was wearing, as he removed the ring on Naruto's right hand and returned it to his own. You are truly a worthy adversary, Naruto-kun. Feel no shame in the fact that you were defeated in a single move. The mere fact I was required to use this, it speaks highly of you. He picked Naruto up and placed him over his shoulder. I bear no ill will towards you, Naruto-kun. For my arm, or for Sasuke, you have become a truly powerful ninja, and I respect you. I do regret that you should meet your end in battle, not in a war, or a great fight, but as a mere tool for my organization. But to deliver you is a supreme order given to me by the Akatsuki, and with that, him and Naruto was gone. Time skip. A few miles out of the city, Itachi met his former partner, and his current one. I see it went well, Kabuto said with a friendly smile, as he was standing in his black robe with red cloth on it. I noticed you managed to keep your arm this time. Hey, you even got your ring back. Kisame chuckled. Itachi simply nodded as he was in no mood to talk. We need to move, quickly. Once they learn his fate, Konoha will surely send a rescue attempt. As he looked at Kisame, I require your assistance until the operation is complete. Seeing that he was no longer part of the Akatsuki, Kisame was wearing black pants and a black shirt, with his bandaged sword in his back. Once this is all over, your debt to me will be fully paid. Kisame nodded, sure thing. As they all start to move at top speed through the trees. What do we do if his team start to track us? Asked Kabuto. If that happens, we will deal with them, said Itachi. Time skip. It was 8 in the morning, as Hinata checked her appearance once again in the mirror. She had showered, dressed, brushed her teeth, and combed her hair. As she was satisfied, she grabbed her backpack and left the hotel room. As she went down a couple doors to Naruto's room as she knocked. Naruto-kun, it's 8. Are you ready for breakfast? She asked. That was normal routine. She would grab Naruto and Kiba, and they had breakfast with Kakashi Sensei. As she stood there, him being late wasn't unusual, but he will always be shouting that he would need to take a shower or be putting on his pants or something. As she frowned, she knocked again. Naruto-kun, are you awake? Are you ready for breakfast? She asked, but no answer. As she frowned a bit more, seeing that there was no answer, Byakugan, she said. As the hotel room was empty, she looked over. She saw Kiba, as he was dressed and ready. Kakashi Sensei was still in bed. She checked the hotel lobby and cafe. He was not there either. As she expanded her vision, a quick scan at 2-mile radius. But being a big city with so many people made it difficult to spot an individual person. As she started to feel worried though, because she could not find him. As she activated her radio, Naruto-kun, this is Hinata. Where are you? She asked. But she heard nothing back. Naruto-kun, if you can hear me, please say something. Kiba heard the same message over his radio as he came out of his room. Hinata, what's going on? He asked. Naruto-kun is missing, she said. He's not in his room. I don't see him anywhere. Relax, Neta-chan, said Kiba. Knowing Naruto, he probably woke up early and decided to do some sword training. Maybe, she said. I noticed his sword and gear are gone. But he left behind his backpack. Well, there you go, said Kiba. I'm sure that's it. But why wouldn't he answer my call? Naruto would never ignore a radio call from one of us. That's true. Kiba sniffed the ear. Well, I'm sure he's fine, but if you want, we can go and track him down. He left a good strong trail. Yes, let's go find Naruto-kun. You want to wake Sensei? No. Let him sleep for now. The trail led into a rooftop, only a few blocks away from the hotel, as she spotted instantly. Hokage, she said. As she saw, that's his katana. He wouldn't leave it. He would rather leave an arm behind. Hinata, Kiba said, fear in his voice. There's another scent here. As she looked towards him, it's Itachi. Time skip, as Kakashi was in bed reading, as he turned his radio off. So he didn't get a frantic message from Hinata that she was sending all the way back here. So he was surprised when suddenly its door exploded off the handle. As he grabbed a kunai quickly, thinking it was some enemy ninja. But he saw that it was Hinata, her face coated in chakra. Kakashi-sensei, she said. Why, is your radio off? Naruto-kun has been kidnapped by Itachi. We have to go after him. He's been what? Hinata and Kiba quickly relayed the events, and Hinata held out the katana. As Kakashi ignored his embarrassment from standing in front of his team in a boxers and shirt as he quickly got dressed. As he quickly went through one sign, as he wrote out a message, summoning Jutsu. As Pakon appeared in the room. Pakon, we have an emergency. Naruto has been kidnapped by Itachi Uchiha. My team and I will be going after him immediately, but we have no idea how many of the Akatsukis are involved. Go to the Hokage and tell her we will need all the backup she can spare us. Alright, got it. And good luck, said Pakon, as he poofed away. Time skip. They have been traveling for 8 hours now, and the sun was well above the horizon. As Itachi and Kabuto entered a hidden ground on the base, Kisame would remain outside. Arriving in, they were greeted by the astral projection of their leader. I see that you have succeeded. I am most pleased. Yes, said Itachi, as he placed Naruto down in the very center of a stone floor. He then looked down Naruto's motionless form. Kabuto looked towards Itachi. If I didn't know any better, I would say that you look sad. You do not know me. Do not make the mistake of thinking that you do, said Itachi. Pain then went through a long series of hand signs before slamming his hand on the ground, as a massive statue started to rise out of the ground like some bizarre tree. As the distorted face with 8 closed eyes and 2 hands took shape, as pain leaped up to stand on one of the fingers. Come, it is time. Astral projections started to appear all around the fingers. Itachi and Kabuto leapt up to their position as well. Let us commence harvesting the Kyuubi. In 3 days, we shall add his power to our own. Back at Konoha, Snally was asleep with her head on a pack of papers as Pakon arrived in the office with a puff of smoke. Hokage-sama, I'm awake. Pakon? What are you doing here? She said. It's an emergency. You need to read this. As he gave her the note, Snally took it. As she was reading it, her eyes went wide. Shizune, she quickly called, as Shizune rushed inside. Get Kushina, Asuma, and Guy and their teams, and I want Captain Tenzo here as fast as possible. Yes, Lady Hokage, said Shizune, as she saw that something was seriously wrong. And have an emergency message sent out to Jiraiya. He's supposed to report back to the village immediately, she said on the intercom as Shizune was passing by. She heard it. How long ago did this happen and where? It happened about 8 hours ago. It was in Nagamo. That's 3 days away, damn it. She cursed herself. Do you have any more information for me? Only that Kakashi and his team are pursuing them. Alright, get back to Kakashi, and I want to be informed the moment you learn anything else. Right, Pakon says. He poofed away. Snady looked through her office window. I'm not gonna lose you, Naruto. Not like Dan and Nawaki. I'll save you, no matter what, my godson, she said. Time skip. Do you have any idea what it's about? Asked Asuma. No clue, said Kushina. But when you're ordered to meet the Hokage immediately, it's never for good news. As she looked around the reception area, and judging by how many Chunin and Jonin we have here, I'm expecting the worst. Yosh, whatever it is, we shall master it with the fires of our youth. Kushina shook her head, not really want to argue with Guy. Nothing could get that man down. The 3 senses had gathered away from their team to talk for a bit, but unfortunately none of them knew anything as Kushina looked to who was summoned. Rock Lee and his teammate Tenten was conversing. Despite both being Chunin, they still work together with Guy. According to Hinata, Tenten and Neji has become rather close. Lee was still a clone of his sensei, even more so that he wore a Chunin vest. But he was a bit more serious and a bit more grown up than he had been. Soccer debt had hit him hard. It took about a year for him to regain that smile of his. But he would never again be quite the same as before. Shikamaru was leaning up against the wall as he listened to Ino talk, as Choji was eating some chips. Shikamaru had become Jonin 6 months ago. Although Yoshino was clan head, he seemed to bear most of the burden. Ino and Choji was both Chunin, while Choji had the added pressure of also being clan head. The three of them were no longer an active team, but they did train and go together sometimes. If Team 10 was being reassembled, that was likely a bad sign. A difficult mission must be ahead, and their specialties were being called on. There was also 4 Anbus there, as their leader was Captain Tenso. Naruto still called him Yamato, or even sometimes Yamato-sensei. What kind of mission was this? Was the Hokage planning on using a 4-man Anbu squad as well? Finally, she looked at her own team. Their team dynamic has been a bit off. Having 2 girls in love with the same guy tend to do that, but things have gotten worse recently. With Haku and Gabriella barely able to communicate with each other, she had tried to find out the problem, but her efforts had met with failure. 3 days ago, panting, as he rolled off of her, the both of them covered in sweat. She hated to have to sneak off the hotel with transformations, but that was better than explain to her father and explain to their sensei what they were doing. She and Haku has been together for a while now, and she was not going to risk these moments. They would sneak off separately and rendezvous at their hotel for an hour or 2. But what she really wanted was to spend an entire night with him. As Haku was shy at first, but after a while, yes, both of them sleeping together was wonderful. She loved him, not just physically, but with her whole heart. She wanted to drift off to sleep with his arms wrapped around her, but that was impossible at the moment. Gabriella, he said. As Haku had a serious look on his face now. What are we gonna do? She gently cursed his face. Do we really have to talk about this right now, she asked. We've been avoiding it for a long time, but the problem is not just gonna go away. Gabriella, I love you, and I want you to marry me. I love you too, Haku, she said, and nothing would make me happier. As he waited, as he knew what was coming. But would you be willing to join my clan? He sighed. I already told you, I intend to found my own clan. And I already told you that I intend to change my clan for the better one day. I can only do that as clan head. As much as I love you, sometime duty must come before all others, even love. She looked at him. Haku, is it really so important for you to found a new clan? Mamakai isn't even your original clan name, is it? I never knew what my mother's maiden name was, he said. Then Haku, why not just become a Uchiha then? As he hesitated. But he went on with it. Because I do not want my children born into that clan, he said. She suddenly sat up out of the bed. As she looked at him. What the hell is that supposed to mean, she said. She often complained about the problems in her clan, but she didn't enjoy hearing criticism from someone outside the family, even if it was from him. What's wrong with being a Uchiha? Gabriella, he said, sit up as well. I know that you'll be a wonderful mother, and love and care for our children. But I know how much you have suffered because of your feelings. And your clan, Kiki Genkai. I have suffered because of others. The way they view my Kiki Genkai. I do not want my children to endure that as well. I do not want them born into a clan that will only judge them by their bloodline limit. I want my clan to be like Namikaze, where all family members are loved and accepted, regardless of their blood and their abilities. You've never said that before. I didn't want to tell you. But Haku, it won't be like that for our children. I'm going to change Uchihas and the way we deal with the Sharingan. Our children will not go through what I did. You can't guarantee that, Gabriella, he said in a quiet tone. Even if you were to change the hearts of your clan members, what if you should be killed one day? It is a possibility that we have to consider. You lost your mother. I lost both parents. Naruto lost his father. Hinata lost her mother. I won't put my children in a clan where they might end up suffering just because of what is in their blood. I will not join the Uchiha clan. Well, I won't abandon my clan. So where the hell does that leave us? She asks. End of flashback. The doors to the office open, and out came a grim-looking Snavi with an equal worried Shizune. We are badly pressed for time, so I'm gonna get right into it, she said. She looked towards Kushina. About 8 hours ago, Naruto was captured in the city of Nagamo by Itachi Uchiha. Kushina felt like her heart stopped for a second there. Naruto has been captured? Her voice was only one amongst men that cried upon hearing the news. Snavi raised her hand for them all to settle down for her to continue quickly. Alright, here's what we know. Naruto's been captured and taken somewhere. According to the information we got from Kisame, he would most likely be taken to the Akatsuki bases for the Kyuubi to be taken out of him. At this moment, Kakashi and the rest of his team are tracking him. The moment they learn his location, Kakashi will send a summon to me to tell me exactly where he is. We're going to get him back, Kushina shouted. Of course we are, said Snavi. That is why all of you are here. I would like to bring every ninja in the village for us, but not even for Naruto. Can I risk doing that? This is the largest and best force that can save his spear. I've also sent for Jiraiya, but he's out of village right now, and we can't afford to wait. According to Kisame, it may take 3 days to remove the demon from his host. We have that much time to save him. I am leading all of you on a S+ rank mission to save the life of Naruto Namikaze. Lead Snappy, you can't do that, says Shizune. Even if it's Naruto, you can't simply leave to go on a mission. I can and I will. The village will survive fine without me for a short time. You can handle things while I'm gone. If something were to happen to Naruto because I weren't there, I couldn't live with myself. Get any supplies you need and make sure you have plenty of soldier pills. We'll meet at the gates in 20 minutes. As she went over to Kushina and hugged her. We're getting him back. Do not doubt it for a second. Kushina nodded as she was terrified. This was her worst nightmare come to life. I know we will. I'm getting my son back, no matter what she said. As she was shaking. Meanwhile, Hinata, stay in formation given who we're up against. We can't afford to get sloppy. Kakashi called out as they were dashing through the trees, with Kiba and Akamaru leading the way. Despite needing to follow Kiba lead, Hinata was pushing ahead of him. But we have to hurry. We have to save him, as you could hear the terror in her voice. We will, Hinata. We're gonna save him, but we can't do it if we're spread all over the forest. Stay in formation, and remember, we're gonna be facing the Akatsuki. If you're not focused and sharp, you will die. Keep that in mind, Hinata. I understand, Sensei, she said, as she slowed down just a bit to stay in formation, as she knew that Kakashi was right. But she needs to. She has to save him. Hold on, Naruto, we're coming. Time skip. Pain, sigh. We have company approaching. They need to be dealt with. How many servants do we have available? Only 2, said Sorcery. That is all that's available. Pain nodded. Itachi, you and your partner deal with them. I will require you to prevent any interruption. I understand, Itachi said calmly. Time skip. Kiba took a deep breath. We got company coming. Who? Asked Kakashi. One of the sent is Kisame, the other 2, I don't recognize. Kakashi signaled a halt as they each lined on a separate tree branch. Hinata, what do you see? She looked on about a mile and a half ahead of them. Something strange is going on. I see Kisame and 2 others that look like Itachi and Kabuto, but their images are false. Kiba nodded. Yeah, whatever they look like, the ones ahead of us are not Itachi and Kabuto. That doesn't mean this is gonna be easy. Kisame is a S rank missing nin, and the others' abilities are unknown. But we have to assume that they're extremely dangerous. We'll have to go at them with everything we got. And since that is the case, as he lifted up his headband showing his Sharingan. Alright, let's go. In an open clearing, as the 3 of them were just waiting there. As Kakashi, Hinata and Kiba arrived and Akamaru. As Itachi looked at them. Facing us to retrieve Naruto-kun speaks well of your courage, if not your survival. Leave here and do not return. This will be your only warning. Itachi, where is Naruto? What have you done then? Kakashi asked, as Hinata and Kiba got some space to the other side. Itachi nodded and both Kisame and Kabuto took a few steps away from him. He's nearby meeting his destiny. Rescue is impossible, and it will only lead to your own deaths. We will never abandon Naruto-kun, Hinata said. Very well. He speed through hand sign first style for about jutsu. As a massive flame came toward Kakashi, who jumped aside to dodge it. As Itachi watched as Kisame and Kabuto shot forward. Kabuto was the one that went after Hinata. As he pulled a kunai, he offered a friendly smile to her. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Hinata? I haven't seen you since the start of the Chunin exams. If I may say, you have grown into a beautiful young woman. As she looked at him with her Byakugan already active, do you really think your compliments mean anything to me? Now, don't be hostile. You don't have to die here, you know. Walk away, and you can live a peaceful, long life. If you insist on pushing this, you are going to die here today. She dropped into a fighting stance. I love Naruto more than my entire life. For him, I would gladly die and kill. Kabuto shook his head. Don't you have any dreams? If you die here, your dreams will die with you. Being with Naruto-kun is my dream if I lose him. There's nothing left for me, she said. Well, I see there's no talking left for you. As Kabuto rushed forward, meanwhile, Kisame pulled Samehada off his back as the bandages fall away. I'm gonna shave you, kid, and your little dog as well. Shut up, said Kiba, as Akamaru growled. Kiba jumped off Akamaru's back. I know how dangerous you are, and Akamaru tells me that you have huge chakra reserves, so I won't fool around with you. Let me show you your original jutsu, my sensei. Help me create. He launched himself in the air. Lightning Fang, he said, as he started to spin. As Kiba's spinning motion became enveloped in lightning, as he dived towards Kisame. Kisame leaped out of the way. Not good enough, he said. But Kiba was locked onto his scent as he brought his blade up. Kiba smacked into it and started growing. Kisame's eyes went wide when he heard a crack. To his surprise, he saw Samehata start to break under the force of this technique. What? Meanwhile, as Itachi dodged a kunai as thrown at him, it's a shame that he comes to this, Kakashi. Given all our years in the Onvus, you're one of the few people I came to respect. Were I a different sort of man, I might even consider you a friend. Kakashi nodded. I respect your skills, Itachi, but nothing else. As for friendship, I would never be friends with a traitor, or with someone who'd kill his own father. You are a disgrace to your village and clan. Do not speak to me of my clan. They are fools who do not understand what it means to be truly great. And I suppose you do. In my life, I have only known one Uchiha that is to be called great. And compared to Obito, you're nothing. Such stupid sentimentality. After all your years in the Onvu Black Ops, I expected difference, Kakashi. Well, I've learned something, Itachi. After Sasuke rampage, the Uchiha clan head was called into account and revealed something about the Mangekyo Sharingan. Thanks for that, and the pain I felt from my friend's death, I have developed my own Mangekyo Sharingan. I do not believe you. Only a Uchiha can ever develop a Mangekyo. Spoken like any other member of the Uchiha clan. Maybe you're not so different as you thought. Very well, Kakashi. Let us put those words of yours to test. With that, he activated his Mangekyo as he drew Kakashi into the world of his creation. Kakashi was bound. Here in the Tsukuyomi world, I completely control time, space, and everything. In here, I am truly a god, and you will spend the next 72 hours as I torture you. But suddenly, Kakashi poofed away. It was just a clone. Meanwhile, as Kabuto struck her twice with his chakra scalpel, you haven't managed to hit me once with your gentle fist, as it had slowed her down a bit. I expected better from you, he said. Hinata's eye snapped towards him. I was being sloppy on purpose to draw you in. Now you're in range. Gentle fist. 8 kilograms, 64 palms, she said, as she was on him and attacked relentlessly, striking all over his body. Not only did every strike shut down one of his chakra points, but she had an added touch of her own, as she focused a tiny volt of chakra in her fingers, as she also gave him a physical beating, making her gentle fist rather hard, also cutting off his chakra flow as well, as her final strike sent him breaking through a tree. As she rushed over, as Kabuto was just lying there. It's over, she said. Now you're gonna tell me where Naruto is, and how exactly can I save him. This fight is over. I look forward towards the next one, as he seemed to bite down on something in his mouth, as he started to spasm and shake. Her Byakugan showed that his heart had stopped. As she rushed over, he killed himself. It was a poison. But suddenly, Ash was breaking away from him. What the hell? As she understood now why it wasn't real Kabuto, as an unknown man that she never saw before was looking at her with his dead eyes. Whether the man had served them willingly or being controlled, she would never know. She closed his eyes and quickly moved off to help her teammate. Meanwhile, Kibo was sent sailing through the air by a huge water missile. You broke my sword. I'm gonna tear you apart for that. I'm gonna rip your legs and arms off and feed them to my shark and make you watch. Kiba caught his breath as he was slammed into a tree, as he coughed up blood. You know, it's just a sword. Would it help if I say I can buy you a new one? As Kisame rushed forward in rage as he went through hand sign, he didn't miss technique, as he was a poof in the smoke. As Kisame ran to a giant headed to a dog, as the dog then lifted his leg and pee on him. Kisame screamed as the urine burned like acid and he was forced to shut his eyes, as the dog spun and smashed into him full force, driving him down into the earth. Meanwhile, from his hiding spot, Kakashi activated his Mangekyo. Behind the emotionless Itachi, the air seemed to shift as a portal opened up. Before Itachi could even exit the own effects of his own jutsu, he was pulled into the dimension. The only sign of him left behind was a single sandal. Time skip, regrouping. Kakashi was pleased to see a beaten and unconscious Kisame tied up on Akuma's back, as he was happy to hear that both of his teammates were relatively unhurt. As Hinata was examining him with a worried look after using Mangekyo. Will I live? He teased. Of course you will live, she said. I was kidding, Hinata, he apologized. Kakashi-sensei, this is no time for jokes, she said. You're suffering from chakra exhaustion. To be honest, I'm amazed that you can still stand. But there is no way you can fight anymore, she said. I shouldn't have used it, especially not on the real Itachi, but I didn't think you'd wipe me out like this. We'll have to retreat for now, wait for reinforcement from Konoha. No, Kakashi-sensei, you rest here. Kiba and I would go and continue on with the rescue. No, you will not, Hinata told me, incapacitated. This team is not strong enough to rescue Naruto, especially since they obviously know that we're here. The real Itachi and Kabuto are still out there waiting, not to mention the Akatsuki, pushing forward to only lead to your deaths. So you want us just to do nothing and let them kill Naruto, she demanded. Hinata, I've read upon all the files concerning the Akatsuki. The ceremony to remove the Kyuubi will take 3 whole days. We have that much time to save him. Within that time, the reinforcement from Konoha will be here, and we can fight alongside them. Right now, our course of action is to withdraw and get all the information we can from Kisame before eliminating him. Eliminating him? Asked Hinata. Yes, he has a kill on sight order signed by the Hokage, and it would be too dangerous to try and keep him prisoner. We will get all information we can from him before we carry out the order. She wanted to argue, but she did not. If it helped save Naruto, she was ready to do anything possible. Meanwhile, that was the most interesting encounter, Itachi said, as both he and Kabuto stood. They only had 30% of our chakra, but they did well, and they also succeeded in capturing Kisame. Speaking of your blue skin pal, what do you want to do about him? Asked Kabuto. Nothing. You're going to abandon him. I thought he was a friend of yours, asked Kabuto. I told you before you did not know me. I have no friends. They're nothing but a detriment. I rescued him previously for my own reasons. Likewise, I abandoned him now for my own reasons. Let us return to the ceremony. They headed back to base, their mission accomplished. Time skip. 2 days. It has been a full 2 days now since Naruto was captured. It was now a question of hours. As they had got the information from Kisame, after which Kakashi had took care of him, cleanly and swiftly, Pakon was sent out to confirm the information of the base. With that done, as Kakashi had written up everything he knew and sent to the Hokage, and now she was waiting. Her heart seemed to pump every minute faster that she was waiting, as she couldn't just sit here and wait for nothing. They were taking long, but every time she checked her watch, only 2 minutes has passed. I know he's alright. He has to be alright. She kept on repeating to herself over and over again. Meanwhile, the other group was making their way after receiving the information from Pakon. Meanwhile, there was no pain. He just exists. There was no light. As he looked at his hands. Whose hands are these? Oh yeah, they're mine, aren't they? As he watched scenes from his life start to play out right in front of him. He was 4 years old when he fell down as he scraped his knee as he started to cry. But his mother hugged him and kissed him. She started rocking him in her arms back in front. Soon the tears were gone and he was smiling. As slightly older Naruto was playing with Hinata. Now there he was lying on the floor listening as Kakashi told him a story about his dad. His godmother and his aunt Shizune was smothering him with kisses. Perfect granddad stood there as he signed the frog contract. He was laughing as Shikamaru Choji and Kiba chased after Yamakichi again. He thanked Ino for bringing him all those beautiful flowers. He laughed as Lee jumped around after finishing the full 10-hour workout. As he met Haku, as Alisa was doing his hair, all of those memories, as he was now with his grand uncle, as they were fishing. I was loved by a lot of people. I was blessed. It really was a good life. I really don't want to leave them. As Naruto felt a hand placed on his shoulder. I am very proud of you as well, my son. He froze, hearing that voice. My son? As he slowly turned. Dad? Is it really you? Minato smiled as he nodded towards Naruto. Naruto reached out as he touched him on the shoulder. He could touch him. He quickly embraced his dad in a hug as Minato hugged him back. I missed you, said Naruto. I missed you too, my son. And I love you. I hope you can forgive me for what I did to you. I love you too, Dad. And of course I forgive you, said Naruto. You were the Hokage, it was your duty to protect Konoha. I know why you chose me and I understand why you did it. I never wanted to leave you, son, or your mother. I love you both more than anything in the world. I am so sorry you had to suffer for what I did. I wanted them to see you as a hero. I know that, said Naruto. Have I died? Is this the afterlife? He asked. No, son. This is a place between life and death. I'm about to die, aren't I? Said Naruto. But I don't want to leave the people I love, especially Mom and Hinata. I know, my son, but it's not your choice. I cannot see what is going to happen. You may live or you may die. If you pass on, I'll be there to guide you along the path. If you live, there is something important you must know. What? Listen to me closely. I need you to remember these words, or they will be lost. As Naruto listened carefully to what his father was going to tell him. Time skip. Finally, Hinata saw them coming as she, Kiba and Akamaru were at the rendezvous point. As they stood there, the reinforcement finally arrived. Hinata, Kiba, are you both ready to lead us to the base? Asked Navi, as she was wasting no time. She and everyone with her had rested for a grand total of 8 hours in the last 3 days. But thanks to the soldier pill, they all had plenty to enjoy for what lay ahead. Kiba nodded. We can take you straight there. Snappy frowned. Since only the 2 of you are here, I guess Kakashi's really incapacitated, she said. I'm very sorry, Snappy Sensei. He's suffering from chakra exhaustion and there was nothing I could do. I know, I suppose I was just hoping for a miracle. As she turned to everyone in her group. You all know what we're up against and what's at stake. Fight to the full length of your abilities. And be ready to kill. Anything less and you won't survive. Now let's get him. Meanwhile, the leader of the Akatsuki frowned. It seems we are to be delayed again. It's a good thing that Sasori and Deidara are present now. Sasori, Deidara, Itachi, Kabuto, delay them. We only need a short amount of time here. Meanwhile, Byakugan, as they were within 2 miles of the enemy base of Hinata activated Byakugan. She and Kiba were not able to get this close before. What do you see? A worried Kushina asks. I see 4 ninjas waiting outside the base. I recognize 2 of them from our mission. Itachi, Kabuto, Sasori, and Deidara. I don't know Sasori's powers, but Deidara can make explosive from clay. He can make them fly with great speed and accuracy and fly on their back as well. Just how powerful are his explosives? Asks Navi. I saw him destroy a whole building. As Kiba nodded, can you see Naruto? Asks Navi. Yes, but not clearly. He's within the base in the lower level. There's some weird statue there. It's draining him of his chakra. I can't be sure, but I don't think he has much time left. Then we'll have to do this fast and hard, says Navi. Meanwhile, they're coming straight towards us and no, the Virgin are surprised Itachi. They're very brave, said Kabuto. They're very stupid, said Sasori as he pulled out a scroll. Maybe they're just brave and stupid, said Deidara as he stood on top of his bird. No, said Itachi. They are desperate and they know they have little time left. Well, that's fine with me. I'll show them my art is a real bang. As he approached the base, Deidara dived down at them as he fired down miniature birds towards them. With a poof, they became larger and sped down towards him. Look out, they're explosives, said Hinata. The Leaf Ninja shot out of the way as 6 explosives went off. As the group was forced apart into smaller groups. This is going to be too easy, said Deidara as he looked down. Try and hide if you can, but all of you will become a part of my greatest art ever. As Sasori pulled out his scroll. I hope at least some of them are worthy to be a part of my collection. Some of them might surprise you, said Itachi as he flickered away, as he knew exactly who he was going after. Damn it, we're fighting puppets? This is troublesome, Shikamaru said as he dodged aside from a puppet. It looked like a reaper. Body expansion technique, as Choji's hand grew large and smashed down the puppets. As Asuma pulled his strange knife, as he started to glow with chakras, he sliced through a puppet. Ino then looked over. Shikamaru, take care of my body. What? Mind transfer technique? Meanwhile, Snazzy smashed her fist into a puppet, not even slowing down one bit as she kept on running forward. Kabuto, you traitor! Kabuto Snazzy jumped back, as he knew one of those fists would take him out of commission. Hello, Snazzy-sensei. Nice to see you again. Don't call me that, you traitor. Kabuto chuckled. Actually, I don't consider myself a traitor at all. I was always loyal, just not to you or Konoha. Come here, she smashed her down, forced him to jump away, as she leaped after him. Meanwhile, Yosh, now this is truly a workout. Fighting these puppets is much better than using simpler training pose and guy, as he was in the first gates, ripping through the puppets. There's a difference, Sensei Tenten called out. Training pose are not trying to kill you, as she was fighting with a blade at the moment. That is what is making this such an excellent workout. When we return to Konoha, I would see about purchasing puppets for our normal training workouts. Guy was forced to dodge a huge metal tail trying to skewer him through. You are beginning to annoy me, said Sasori. Guy sent him a thumbs up. Those who lack the fire of youth always feel that way, along with most people, Tenten muttered to herself. But suddenly Sasori spun around as he lashed out with his tail, but Lee ducked under it, as he smashed his foot into the puppet, knocking straight up in the air. He appeared behind it, Primary Lotus, as he wrapped it up and brought it down. Boom! The thing exploded in the earth. With Hinata, rotation, as she tear apart a couple of puppets. Getsuga! As Akamaru and Kiba ripped through another volley of puppets. Meanwhile, Deidara was laughing as he looked down the scene of battle. Yes, such complete and total chaos. Now that is good art. His hands were chewing more clay until his body stiffened. Mind transfer was a success. Now, I just need to... Ino then looked down as she quickly clutched onto the bird. She realized something about herself. She was afraid of heights. What is that troublesome girl doing? Shikamaru asked, as Deidara had stopped circling over their head and was flying away. She just might be having trouble controlling his ability, said Asuma. If she has taken off the Akatsuki to the fight, she has done her job. Protect her body, Shikamaru, said Choji, as he looked down at his unconscious girlfriend. Sensei, and I will cover you. Meanwhile, as Haku was using his ice as he ripped through the puppets, as he was creating ice daggers, as Teiwai summoned her 3 dokis. We have to get to Kushina-sama, said Haku. Teiwai nodded as her doki started to press the attack, as they made their way forward. Meanwhile that was going on. You have my personal sympathies, Kushina. I truly regret the fate that was assigned to Naruto-kun. You bastard! How dare you say that to me? As she gripped her blade tight. I'm gonna kill you. As she rushed towards him and sliced, but he burst into crows. The crows started to go around her until one of their eyes suddenly changed. Kushina found herself pulled into a strange world. Where the hell am I? Here, in my Tsukiyomi, I control space and time. Everything is at my control. I am God here. Damn you, Itachi, show yourself! I know that you do not believe me, however, I deeply respect Naruto-kun. If it was my choice, I would have given the chance alone to face me in battle. He could have died a swift and honorable death at my hands. Death worthy of a great shinobi. Unfortunately, my loyalty is to Akatsuki. Why are you telling me this? Do you think it's gonna change anything? I'm still gonna kill you, she said. No, I simply want to tell you the truth and offer my condolences. And help you mourn your loss. At her feet, Naruto's body came into view. I shall allow you to mourn him for 72 hours. Itachi, you bastard, she said, her voice breaking up. This is not real. I refuse to believe that this is real. My son is alive. He has the strongest will out of everyone else. He will not go down this easily. Show yourself, you coward! But Itachi just remained silent. As she turned her head away from the body, this is an illusion, and I won't believe it no matter how long I'm here. Meanwhile, Gabriella saw when her sensei got frozen. As she understood what happened, Itachi, as she activated her own Sharingan. Spitfire technique! Itachi jumped away from the stream of fire with ease. Hello, little cousin. It is nice to see you again. Congratulations on replacing my little foolish brother as clan heir. Itachi, you have no idea how much it shamed me to have to admit that you're family. Gabriella, have you listened to everyone's opinion of me? I hope that you were strong enough to think for yourself. Think for myself? You think I wouldn't hate you if you weren't for others? You killed your own father, you poisoned Sasuke somehow, and you betrayed everyone that ever trusted you. Trust me, cousin, I don't need any help to hate you. Kushina suddenly fell to one knee. As Gabriella looked over to her, Sensei, are you alright? Panting, Kushina lifted her head as tears were flowing down her face. Itachi looked surprised. I'm truly impressed, Kushina. I showed Naruto an image of me killing you for 72 hours over and over again, and it completely destroyed him. Obviously, your attachment to him is not as strong as he has to you. What could a heartless monster like you ever know about the love a mother has for her child? As she gripped her blade, I'll make sure that you die for what you did. As a desperate battle raged outside the base, it was quiet and calm. Pain simply nodded as the final bit of chakra was withdrawn from Naruto. As his body fell down to the floor, the body was now an empty, discarded container. We are done now, said Pain. With her Byakugan, she saw it. She saw Naruto's body being dropped to the floor after that large amount of power was gone. She could see clearly inside. No. No. No, 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 no. Her will to fight, or even move, she lost all of it. A puppet to the club came at her, but she did not move or do anything. Hinata Kiba threw his twisting body into the puppet that was covered in light as it ripped it apart. Hinata, what's wrong with you? He shouted. We're in the middle of a battle. Naruto-kun. As she dropped to her knees, tears leaked from her eyes. Meanwhile, Itachi heard the command in his mind. It seems the extraction is now complete. I have no reason to continue this battle. What do you mean? Asked Kushina in a furious tone. The Kyuubi has been extracted and Naruto is now dead. You have my condolences. I don't believe you. You damn liar, I don't believe you. You will see for yourself soon enough. As he went through Hansan, he was gone. No, this can't be true. This can't be true. Sensei, said Gabriella, as Kushina saw the enemy withdrawing. No. No, 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 she said. Meanwhile, as Sorcerer came out of his puppet, you two ruined my second favorite puppet. It seems I won't be able to punish you too. But I'll deal with the both of you another day. And with that, he disappeared in a swirl of wind and sand. The remaining puppets on the battlefield suddenly collapsed down. Despite her best efforts, Ino wasn't able to control the clay bird. I am never ever doing this again with someone who's flying. As Ino waited for the last moment before leaving his body, later her eyes snapped open. What? But he was smashed into a stone platform and fell off his bird and crashed down to the ground. Meanwhile, well, it seems that my work here is done. What do you mean? Asked Snappy. Kabuto simply waved goodbye as he poofed away. Snappy looked around. They were retreating. This was bad. This was really, really bad. That could only mean 5 minutes later, as they used some traps before they reached the underground chamber. But with Hinata Byakan she was able to see. She told him that it was too late, but Snady rushed ahead. She could do something. She would save him. There was a stone wall there as Snady smashed it open. As they rushed inside, Naruto Kushina rushed over. She dropped her knees and pulled him up into her arms. His eyes did not open, his head was leaned back as she performed a diagnostic jutsu. His heart was no longer breathing. The chakra was gone. He was dead. But guys, be in some so right here. If you want the next part of this or know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. But for now, I'm out here. See you guys soon. Peace.